City of Maricopa is about 21 years old now, and it's been growing like crazy.
You go from 1,200 people to 80,000 people in about 20 years.
The sixth fastest growing city, and that can be in the state, in the nation. We're growing very fast.
We are the largest city in Pinell County.
It's just going to generate congestion on a one way in, one way out.
We need this road fixed.
347, especially in the morning, in the evening, rush hour traffic, it fails. So our State Transportation Board has a process of grading roads during all types of traffic levels, and our road fails.
The road is only 2 lanes. We need to expand it to 3 lanes. We need to take out the 2 lights. We need to do an overpass. 347, it's constantly having accidents and people dying on this. ADOT only has a certain amount of money, and you have to get on the 5-year plan for them to fix that.
This month's State Transportation Board meeting, a very important one to resolve and decide what's going to be in the 5-year plan, is held in Payson.
From the city, we have all 7 council members here, the former mayor, and then we also have about 25 other constituents who have been putting a lot of hard work into this.
Mayor Price started going to ADOT board meetings every single month 11 years ago, and then when I became the mayor, I had started going to every single State Transportation Board meeting.
I'm getting ready to go into the ADOT board meeting and give my spiel. I'm a New Yorker. I'm going to remind them and give them my story about $20 million.
We all know that the state has a state transportation funding problem, and it grows every year. And so we have to find solutions to the funding problem.
The city has done half-cent sales tax, $30 million there, and in Pinell County, with my colleagues, have put together $20 million to add to that. So a $50 million contribution to this that needs to be fixed.
In 2023, we saw 270 accidents, a fatality, and averages over 100 injuries a year.
Accidents happen on a near daily basis, some minor, others catastrophic.
I have lost a 10th grade student, a 1st grade student, and this year one of my students lost their father. He was a father of 6 children with the youngest a 3-month-old son.
Parents are leaving before the sun rises just to beat traffic, many of them before their kids wake up. And by the time they get home, it's late. That means missed dinners, missed homework help, and missed moments.
There have been times where I had to walk home from school because my parents were stuck in traffic.
A lot of drivers aren't safe, and the road just isn't safe itself.
We specialize in shuttles to and from Phoenix Sky Harbor. Our buses go up and down the 347 up to 16 times a day, so you could say this issue deeply affects us.
For the firefighters and paramedics of Maricopa, it's not just a traffic issue, it's a public safety issue. The 347 is the main corridor for transporting patients to the local hospital.
For too long, State Route 347 has been a glaring weakness in an otherwise thriving and growing region.
We know that the Maricopa residents voted a supermajority to tax themselves to bring you $50 million to put on your table.
Our very conservative city council made the hard decision to raise our sales tax, which we have not done in the existence of the city of Maricopa, by half a cent to help fund this project and to match the ADOT's 2 policies that says when local contributions come forward, then that actually can change the priority of projects.
And now it's up to you. And I really do not envy the position you're in. As public servants, we always are looking at what people want and having to weigh it against what we have available.
The 3 options are that they could vote and approve the 5-year plan as it was presented, or option number 2 was that the Lion Springs project, which is a 4-mile segment, would be moved out to 2028, and then 347 would come in. And then option number 3 is that 3 repavement projects would be moved out in time, allowing 347 and Lion Springs to come in much sooner.
Pavement preservation is critical because every year you put it off, it only gets more and more expensive, and people are very unhappy when it ruins their vehicle and causes flat tires because the pavement's all broken. But at the same time, in this particular case, you had 2 projects that were incredibly critical, incredibly worthy of safety and life preservation. It meant that pavement preservation needed to go on the back burner for just a little bit.
Even with the first one that said they wanted to go with option 3, I touched both of my council members next to me. I'm like, oh, here we go.
Any opposed? That motion passes.
this smile and actually a sense of wanting to have tears because it's been so much work.
You know, I think we're all trying to be respected because the meeting wasn't over. So certainly we don't want to get in trouble for the great things they just did for us.
Thank God we are on the 5-year plan. Thank you, ADOT, and thank you to all the constituents that worked hard on this over the past 2 to 3 years, and actually former mayors, former council members, and again, the support from the county supervisors. Thank you very much for supporting this project. God bless, and thank you.
We have major issues in the funding of the state of Arizona, so we've got to come up with some resolutions. We have to be able to not decide which child is going to get that piece of bread, so eloquently displayed here today. But yeah, to hear them start to express their thinkings and the way that they were leading, it was, everyone was getting a little bit close to the edge of the seat, and then finally we pushed it over the finish line, which is fabulous.
We're working to try to do something beneficial for the community, and that's where we stand. If it's good for us, particularly when you talk about lives lost on the road, had an accident turning into a deadly accident because there's a lack of time it takes to get to a person. So I think we did to the community a good service following their footsteps.
We had Mayor Price in office and then followed by Mayor Smith. Both of them have put a dedicated effort into attending every single transportation board meeting and working hard. And then they all involved the entire council and everyone in the city of Maricopa. So I had no doubt we'd get here. I'm very happy we've gotten here today. I was worried at times, but we're here, and I knew we would get here eventually.
Because they've broken the project into different phases, such as you have Riggs Road overpass, you have the 2 other intersections, and then you have the repavement project, and then you also have the widening project. Then you also have, as part of the I-10 widening, the Queen Creek overpass at 347. So there are a lot of pieces. I would suspect the repavement will be getting started soon. They're almost finished with the design.
This has been the hardest part to get the funding. The construction is actually easy. We've been through this with the overpass. It doesn't mean that there's not delays. It doesn't mean there's not challenges, and it does mean there will be frustrations. But when you figure it took us 15 to 20 years to get the funding for this, and then it's still got to go through a little bit of design, so we're looking at another 1.5 to 2 years out. But when that construction actually happens, that's what? 18 months, 2 years, 12 months, somewhere in there. And that's what we did with the overpass, and it was over before you know it. And now the fluidity of the way it works afterwards, you just kind of think, why didn't we do this from the beginning?
In the end, when it's all done, all is well.